This video illustrates how you can create a pivot table from Microsoft Access data. Because Access stores data in related tables, you should first view the companion video, Introduction to Relational Databases, if you aren't already familiar with relational databases. Also, because you can base a pivot table on an Access saved query, you might also want to view the video, Introduction to Queries. The obvious way to import Access data is through the From Access button, the leftmost button on the data ribbon, and I will illustrate this method here. Through Excel 2010, this option had limited functionality because it only allowed you to import data from a single table or a saved query. Fortunately, this changed in Excel 2013. Now you can import data from multiple tables as well as from a saved query. Importing with the From Access button is straightforward. You first choose an Access database file. I will choose the famous Northwind database that's stored on my desktop. This provides a list of all saved queries, those with the double square icons, and all tables, those with the single square icons. As their names suggest, the saved queries have been written to find specific information that might be of interest. For example, the category sales for 1997 query finds total sales in 1997 for each of the product categories. If you want to base a pivot table on any such data, you can import the corresponding query. However, I will import a few related tables. Then it asks whether I want to import the results as a table or a pivot table pivot chart combination. I will choose the pivot table report option and place it on a new worksheet. Now I have a pivot table and I can manipulate it in the usual way. There are several things to realize. First, all of the fields from all of the imported tables are available for the pivot table. And because the table relationships that exist in Access are carried over to the import, you will get the correct results in the pivot table. Second, there is a live link from the Access data to the pivot table. If any changes are made to the data in Access, you can click the pivot table refresh button to show the new data in the pivot table. Third, if you click the Connections button on the data ribbon, not existing connections, but connections, you see that there is a connection in the workbook. And you can click the bottom section to see where it occurs. If you want to remove the connection, you can do so, but then changes in the Access data can't be refreshed in the pivot table. Alternatively, you can click the Properties button to see details about the connection. In particular, the Definition tab shows information that can often be useful. Finally, you can see in the Workbook Connections dialog box that the imported data has been added to the data model. This is new to Excel 2013, and it won't mean much to you at this point, but much more will be said about data models in later videos. In summary, the From Access option is a quick and easy way to base a pivot table on Access data, and with the multiple table option finally available in Excel 2013, this option is quite useful.